Hey everybody, welcome to the Noir Bar, the post-birthday Hangover Hangout as I wait for the acetaminophen to kick in. And yes, I went drinking again today and am regretting it. We'll be drinking more because that does help one get over a hangover if you didn't know. And joining me tonight, the only one so far, is Farzusmi. Say hey, Far.
Hey, I have a new delivery of Dad Zeusme.
Nice. Well, if there's one time I'm going to turn down someone's homemade distillate, it would probably be today. Oh, man. We have a whole bunch of people here in chat. Hangover stream, drink more cure. Yeah, apparently, I was just saying this to Far, chat. Apparently she didn't know that people drink to get rid of hangovers. Like, I didn't make that up. That's a thing.
That is the most retarded thing I've ever heard.
No, seriously, it's chat, back me up on this. The hair of the dog that bit you, right? That's a saying. I didn't make it up.
But I don't doubt you didn't make it up. It just sounds so dumb. But yeah, I have this massive hangover. How do I get rid of it? Drink some fucking more. Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. Good plan. And then also I fired the band, the old band from yesterday, and we have the new band in here today. A little bit more bluesy, a little bit more up-tempo, if you will. It's also copyrighted music, but if you'll look into the description, I added the YouTube channel that it came from, and the guy's description, and the link, and the title of the video, and so forth. So, and he's Australian, Far.
Oh, nice.
So, hopefully the Aussie will be like, yeah, it's cool, go ahead, you know? Oh no.
We'll go either one or two ways. He'll either be really nice about it or be a real cunt about it.
Yes. I was thinking of, like, because there's the information in his description, and it's called Noir Jazz, I believe. And overall, it's pretty good. It's not the best selection of Noir Jazz I've ever heard, but it's pretty good. And he's like, if you want my records, get them here, and here's my website and stuff. And I thought, I can just throw that stuff in chat too. I mean, it's free advertising for you, brother. This isn't a monetized channel, so I guess if you know, what's the low-grade, low-key copyright called, where even if you're not monetized, they monetize that one video on you, if that makes sense?
I think I know what you're talking about, but I don't know what that's called.
Yeah. What's his, I think Bear had it happen, but I know Eve had it happen. She was playing a video game and went into a restaurant or a bar inside the video game, and there was licensed music being played in the bar.
Yeah.
And she didn't get a copyright strike, like 1, 2, 3 strikes on YouTube. She just got it monetized.
Yeah, no, I've had that happen before as well. Good thing those videos were unlisted and were never going to be listed in the first place, but...
Well, was that the Blinky one?
That is what happened to that one, yeah, but there's a couple of other ones where it was like time lapses, kind of, but before I got the iPad.
Ah.
Yeah, and they were always going to stay unlisted no matter what, but that's what happened to them as well, though.
The Jacob Jet, it's a claim. There you go. I've gotten one on my other channel. Yeah. There you go, a claim. Oh, look, it's Pokemon's stupid ass face. Every time I go on Streamlabs.com, every time I go there, it fucking there's her stupid face staring at me. So I watched the what? I don't like Pokemon. She bugs me.
No, I don't either.
It tells you how huge she is, that she's on the on the front of Streamlabs.com, for God's sake. Oh man, really? Ugh. Yeah. Is she? I think she's entirely on Twitch. I don't even think she's on YouTube.
Yeah, I think she's on Twitch as well.
I'd like somebody who actually knows video games to go over there and tell me if that bitch can game. Like, at all. Like, or is it just a slaughter to watch her try and play? No, for all I know, she's like a super talented gamer girl.
I don't know.
Ooh, Pop-Tart's
I know
here. Hey,
it's
Pop-Tart.
really fucking up. Yeah, hi. So, did you have articles?
I do have articles, but, you know, I'm just getting in the mood. I'm just, you know, letting things chill. This is the Noir Bar. This isn't Lords of the Night where we have to rush right in and, you know, we can do whatever. We can hang back.
You act in silence, yes.
Okay,
Good
well,
stream.
yeah, you can laugh if you want. One of my streaming heroes, Young Ripper 59, you'd be amazed how much dead air there is on his channel. I've watched him read a comic. He's like, was this comic as bad as I remember? Hold on. And he just opens it up. And he wasn't planning it. Like, this guy just, you know, he goes with the flow, right? Real chill like that. He just opens up and he starts flipping the pages. And I'm like, is this motherfucker just sitting there reading a comic? Like, during a live stream and he knows he's live? And it's like, yep. And he would make it, you know, indiscriminate little comment here and there every 30 seconds or so. And you're just kind of like, somehow, because of who he is, his gravitas, or whatever the fuck, he gets away with it. Everybody just kind of takes the vibe of, oh, well, we'll just sit here quietly. We don't want to annoy him while he's reading. I don't know what it is. Somehow he gets away with it.
Let him read. Just let the man read.
Yeah. So stop bugging him. Stop. Don't chat at him. Nobody complained in chat. Nobody said, "Hey, motherfucker, you know, you're here to entertain us." No, nothing like that. And he had what, 400 people watching at the time.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay.
All right. So, I may or may not be drinking coffee with bourbon. You leave me out of it, it's fine.
Great combination you got there.
It is a great combination. You never tried it?
No, I don't do the coffee.
Oh yeah, that's right. Weirdo.
What?
Pop-Tart says, I feel like I should snap my fingers at the end of all of Polly's sentences. He's saying chill a lot. Why would you snap your fingers when someone says chill? Yeah.
Maybe it's a thing in Texas, I don't know.
People just chill out. You need to be more chill. Whatever.
Yeah. Chill, man.
Beer and shots on me this round. I like that.
Oh, dear Lord. You're not doing more shots tonight, are you?
That sounded awfully judgmental, Far.
It was meant to be judgmental.
Oh, yeah, Jacob says no snap, and it triggers Jack. Speaking of which, where is he? I don't know. He has the link. I'm assuming asleep. What a guy, huh? And so let's see. Pop-Tart apparently was trying to get out that it was slam poetry. Does slam poets say chill a lot? I'm completely lost. I don't think Pop-Tart's making sense, and she thinks she is, so let's just pretend along with her.
Okay.
Yeah, you know what? Jake Thompson, there's his Drunk Polly is fun. I will take your word on that. I have never ended up in the drunk tank from being drunk, so I think my amount of fun that I can be is limited.
You don't need to end up in the drunk tank to be fun.
Well, possibly not, but I certainly haven't gone back and listened to last night's stream, although I was shocked as fuck when I, just before I launched this stream, I looked down at, like I went to my channel through Creator Studio, and at 4 hours and 55 minutes, I streamed for 4 hours and 55 minutes yesterday. I don't remember that. That's the longest fucking stream I've ever done. I would have guessed. Yeah, you were commenting on that
at the very end of it.
What happened at the end of it?
No, you were saying at the end of the stream, wow, this is the longest I've ever streamed on my channel.
Well,
you don't fucking remember that? Jesus.
I might remember what you just said, but I don't remember it being 5 hours long. That's pretty fucking long. God damn it. Some people were here for the whole ride. You people are fucking soldiers through that. You know what's scary? Is how here's this bottle of liquor right here. How much I drank yesterday. I mean, holy shit.
You were saying, like, going, yeah, so I started to be above the label, but now I'm somewhere not above the label, or something like that.
What? Where you are? That is a
so vague. Telling.
That is a completely justified way of measuring. It's not like there's like ticks down the side of the bottle unless you draw them on there yourself. So it's come on, chat, back me up, right? Like, have I drank beneath the label, or no? It was. I don't know, half an inch above the label, and then by the time I was done, it was a lot less. Yeah, Talik says it was 5 hours plus. Yeah, no, yeah. Hey, it was, I haven't gone back and listened to it, so I don't know what I was talking about, or ranting around, or over, and I'm going to assume that it all went well.
Yeah, you did keep saying shot 12 a lot.
Say that again?
You did keep saying shot 12 a lot.
Did I take shot 12 3 times? Is that what happened?
Yes.
Well,
yeah, you were stuck on 12. You were just like,
well, I do.
Yeah, this is shot 12.
I do remember.
And then, like, maybe 5 minutes later, this is shot 12, guys.
Well, Jack kept saying that he was a designated driver, and he's the guy who should have been doing the math. And I'm just here for the.
I think Jack was just waiting to see you fucked up, honestly.
I do remember
just sitting there going, yes, take another shot, Polly. Take another shot, Polly.
Just trying to encourage me into drunken stupidity. I do remember Bear started talking all this anti-Semitic shit. That was a little weird. Actually, I don't remember that. I remember me trying to egg him into doing that, but it didn't happen.
Do you at least remember Jack's explanation of who Pikachu is?
Yeah, what did he... I mean, he said it a second time. What, was it an electric mouse or something? What did he call him?
Electric mouse crossed with a cat. It was like Asian, like... It was a cross between a Chinese and a Japanese, and that's why he went shit like that. Was it calling him a freak show and all that sort of stuff? For being half Chinese, half Japanese. And it's like, oh my god.
And then, Assassin of the Grey says, I saw.
I just didn't stop.
He said Assassin of the Grey says he shilled the show. Even if I am a lush. I don't know if I'm a lush. I'm a friendly social drinker, but there's just so many teetotalers out there. It's like anybody who drinks suddenly seems like an alcoholic. I mean, you want to talk about an alcoholic, you should ask Pop-Tart, man. She's got some bad habits. Whew.
Oh, shit.
Well, it's for her own health. I mean, seriously, who starts the day with a double shot of fucking Jack Daniels? I mean, that's rough. Or so I've heard. Let's see. Prospero's designated driver does not equal designated nanny. I know. I'm not entirely certain of that. I've been designated drivers for people, and they somehow expect you to be keeping them out of trouble when they start getting handsy with girls and just screaming at people they don't know and shit. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I've played the designated nanny.
Oh, wait a minute.
Once, and I never want to do it again.
I had a memory from last night just resurface. Pop-Tart said that she's... Pop-Tart said that she's off for the next, 8 days? Pop-Tart, if you want the link, you're always welcome here at Noir Bar. You can tell us all about your alcoholic problems. Go for it. Polydub, I'm bored. Link me, birthday drunk. I don't know. You kind of just called me a drunk. I'm not sure it's supposed to work like that.
You are a drunk. You are a fucking drunk.
No,
You're drinking to get rid of your hangover.
Yeah. And so?
That is the most alcoholic thing I have heard in a while.
Chat, back me up. She's just going nuts with this. Oh, look at this. You guys should check out what Jordan just put up on Twitter. This is awesome. I'm retweeting that. This is great. Look how old-timey it looks. I'm telling you, Far, your otters have gotten a lot of a lot of play. Did you see it? The one Jordan just sent out?
Yeah, I see.
Yeah, that's great. It's
But yeah, damn. Who would have thought my shitty little otters?
An evil one said Polly had some great rants yesterday morning. Okay, Far, you were here for a lot of it. What was I ranting about? I honestly don't even remember.
I honestly don't really remember because some of it just got to the territory of like, yeah, no, I don't have any opinion or understanding of this topic. I'm just gonna sit back. So some of it I honestly don't remember.
Burton says the elevator music is breaking my brain, and I do remember that from yesterday. You were calling it elevator music. It's a different band, man. The last band got fired. This is a new one. It's an Australian band. He's insulting your countrymen, Bar.
How dare you?
I know.
How dare you? How dare? How dare?
Raymond says if you drink liquor and water, I've heard that helps lessen hangovers. It does. That's why I was drinking water the whole time and downed a bottle of water before I passed out. I'll tell you this. I have the same... I don't have much trouble with recovery from drinking. Like the next day, I make it worse on myself. Because, okay, you wake up and you've slept at least, I don't know, 5-6 hours. That's enough time to detoxify from several hours of drinking. For me, it is anyway. It's just laying there. Get up and move around. That's how you're going to feel better. You know what I mean? But I'm sitting there laying down, watching YouTube videos on a laptop, and I'm like, oh God, I feel awful. Well, yeah, you're laying down in a dark room. Get up and move around. Get a drink of OJ, something. Get the day started. Go.
Yeah, I think that's the difference between you and me because I can't walk around. Because I have had a couple of really bad hangovers, and yeah, no. I actually feel physically sick with the worst of it, which is why the other reason why the Queen doesn't come out anymore.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know, Far, when she drinks excessively, starts believing that she's the queen, whatever that means. And,
it's not a belief it's not the belief I am the queen. It's just what I call it. Simply because when it first happened, I grabbed a blanket, I sat down on a couch, and I just looked at someone dead in the eye, dead serious, and just went, "I am the queen of the castle." And yeah.
And it never went away.
Yeah, it never went away. That still follows me to this day. That was 2 years ago.
Do I even follow Jacob on Twitter?
No idea.
Oh, okay. I haven't complained about how much I hate the new Twitter interface today. So, chat, I fucking hate the new Twitter interface. For God's sake, it sucks.
You use TweetDeck?
I actually did try TweetDeck, and it was baffling. And I was like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah, it is a bit weird at first, but if you organize it in a way where it's, it'll work for you, it's fine. Just the only thing it doesn't particularly like that much are messages.
Like,
which it can
DMs?
do it. It's just yeah. Yeah, like it's fine to go in and click on a link from it, but if you're trying to send DMs from it, it's not the best. Honestly, I use it for the main reason I have it though is because it's good for scheduling tweets. For Blueberry.
Come on.
Wow, I fucked that one up.
Why would you want to schedule tweets? Like when you're going live, you mean? Like in advance?
Well, what I do for Beautiful Blueberries is I schedule them so that they're a week apart.
I see.
So I'm not having to constantly go and worry, oh, did I post something? Did I post it?
I getcha.
Yeah, it just doesn't end up with speaking, which I need to continue drawing for that.
There.
Because I haven't.
Check out what computer's up. No, I thought my CPU might be maxed out. It took so long to load that page. But I am forever steadily creeping closer to a time when I can afford to buy a reasonable computer, unlike the one that I have right now. Yeah. Which reminds me, I got told off repeatedly by a small number of people to put my Streamlabs in the description. And it's there. If you go look, you'll find it.
Well done.
Thank you.
For doing the logical thing.
The logical, well, the bare minimum thing?
Yeah, the bare minimum.
Okay, so well, I don't know. How long have I been on... I was hanging out with Monkey before he even called it Monkey in the Morning. Like, doing it, like, late-night streams just because style streams. And for 3 months before he thought to include the link to my channel in the description.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wait a minute. But you've been saying this whole time the link's in the description. And he's like, yeah, but I didn't actually put it there. So you were just saying it was there.
Oh.
And he's like, yeah. And the same thing with Jack. Jack has 16 channels on YouTube. And he kept saying, yeah, all Jack's links are down there. No. Just Bad Comic Reviews was down there.
Jesus. Hi, Jacob.
Hello.
There he is.
How's it going?
So are we following American law here? Under 21?
Normally we would, but this is an after-hours bar. So, we're
So
already...
Australian rules. Got it.
Yeah, we're already flouting the liquor laws, so
Are
it doesn't
you above
really
15?
matter. Yeah.
I'm only joking.
RJ asks,
Partially.
how's my birthday going? It's going pretty good. It went pretty good. Got a few presents. This girl took me out for dinner. We drank, and then we went and hung out with some other people, and then I got back home earlier than I thought because she has to work at 8 o'clock this morning. No, which is in, just a few hours. Must be weird to have like a wake up in the morning lifestyle. Huh. See, I went to grad school.
What a joke.
Not really?
Well, I went to grad school, so I wouldn't have to wake up in the morning.
Well, la-di-da.
Yeah, Rich at Art is in chat. Yeah, he ran a stream earlier on. I popped in for a hot minute before I'd run out again. And yeah, he was doing digital art live. It was pretty cool. Like Eth Van Skyver used to do before he turned his channel into just a hangout stream. I was trying to load one of these articles here. Let's see, what should we cover first?
Real quick, Polly, I don't see the problem with calling you a drunk when you have a picture of you as an otter next to beer.
A giant beer glass.
I love that picture. That picture is
You're
awesome.
fucking doing it to yourself.
I'm not saying it's a bad picture, but yeah, you're kind of doing it to yourself.
I don't see it that way.
I'm just saying.
No alcoholics see it that way.
Yeah.
You know, and it's also kind of the way that Monkey put it. Nobody's an alcoholic on their birthday, and my birthday lasts from 48 to 72 hours, so it's fine.
Not sure, let Monkey make excuses for you.
I'm okay with anybody making excuses for me, but his one, it was particularly good. I even tweeted it out yesterday. So, this article right here is from the UK Independent, which is, you know, a flaming fucking trash heap. We've noticed you're using an ad blocker. Yeah, because I don't want to see I don't want to see your miserable fucking ads, you cocksuckers.
Please disable your ad blocker.
No.
How about
We need the ads to survive,
So a teenager sues a vaping company, the vaping company being Juul, after being left with lungs like a 70-year-old's. Now, what kills me about this article is that Oh, Pop-Tart wants like, does she? It's like, I'm someone who vapes, and I don't have the problem with vaping. Neither do the millions of other people who vape that these fucking 6 idiots have all had by jamming illegal shit in there almost every single time with THC or modifying the shit out of their fucking vape to be able to chug huge clouds in such a way that it's unsafe. Like, you know, if you're running nickel coils, you need to run, your battery mod needs to run on a temperature basis that it automatically limits it to not go above a certain temperature. Because nickel coils, when they reach a certain temperature, release toxic gases. That's why you need temperature control. But these guys are like, whoa, it makes big clouds. Yeah, and those big clouds contain toxic gases that you shouldn't be inhaling, moron. Well, it'll be fine. I'm just if I burn my lungs out doing it, I'll just sue the company and newspapers will back me up because, you know, vaping. It's a news story. There.
Raymond Lewis, how do you get the tobacco product to begin with? Well, I'd assume if they're saying teenager, this is in America, right?
Yes, this particular guy is in America, yeah.
Yeah, your laws for smoking and that, I know it's different for alcohol, but for smoking it's above 18, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think it
so
varies locality to
saying...
locality. Maybe some places it's 16 or 21, I don't know, but generally, yeah.
Yeah, but so I'm assuming when they say teenager in all this, it's 18, 19?
Well, this story actually contains some interesting tidbits of information when you read the whole thing through. The things that are of crucial, valuable importance, they bury them down at the bottom of the story and in another sentence to make it seem like, oh, don't look at this, don't look at this. But they can say, hey, I included it in the story. Because that's the way scumbag news entertainers masquerading as journalists act. There we go. Okay. A teenager says vaping gave him lungs like a 70-year-old is suing a leading e-cigarettes company. Adam Herget, blah, 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 an 18-year-old from Illinois, has accused Juul of marketing e-cigarettes to young people with the message that vaping could boost their social status.
You're not even going to try that name?
Reader.
Okay, yeah, what you said the first time.
Yeah, him.
That's the one.
Yeah. So get this. He underwent hospital treatment at the end of August for nausea and labored breathing after using e-cigarettes for more than 18 months. Quote, I'm 18 years old. My lungs are like a 70-year-old's, he told CBS while in the hospital. My lungs will never be the same. In a statement on Friday, Juul said it had, quote, never marketed to youth and argued its products were meant to help adult smokers quit traditional cigarettes. The Illinois law... What's that?
No, that's just what my lungs will never be the same reminds me of. Just consequences will never be the same.
Right. The Illinois lawsuit claims the company used advertisements and social media campaigns to encourage young people to use e-cigarettes, but never fully disclose that their products contain dangerous chemicals. Well, notice the language, but never fully disclosed. Actually, I'm making it better. It actually says, use e-cigarettes, but never full disclosed. Never full disclosed? You mean fully?
Never full
No, they meant full. They meant full.
Didn't offer a full disclosure would work, but a...
Come on,
No. They were clearly right the first time.
Yeah.
They meant what they meant, Polly. Did they fucking stutter?
But, alright. So they, did they say that it contains nicotine? Yes, they did. Did they say that it has not been evaluated by the FDA for its harm to you? Yes, they did. Well, that's not a full disclosure in our mind. So says the guy attempting to get millions of dollars for a settlement from a massive e-cigarette company. Oh, that's why you're pretending that you're a complete moron. I get it now. More than 450 cases of lung illness potentially linked to vaping have been reported in the U.S., according to the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, with at least 6 confirmed deaths in connection to vaping-related illnesses. Really? Well, what was it that they were doing? Oh yeah, let's not talk about how they were modifying their shit and buying. Anyway, Mr. blah, 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 said he first started vaping, quote, because everyone else was doing it.
Because, of course.
And was unaware.
Old was this guy again?
Say that again?
How old was this guy again?
He's 18 now.
Yeah, oh my god.
And said
Prime
I
age
was
be doing
doing it
that.
because everyone else was doing it.
Now keep in mind, he's doing it because everyone else was doing it. Now wait a minute. I thought you said it was the predatory advertising of Juul that made you do it.
No.
But
no,
the advertising
no,
what made everyone else do it.
Because vaping is just the coolest shit, yo.
Yeah. So, yeah, Assassin of the Grace says he ain't pretending to be a moron. Yeah, you're right. Well, his lawyer gets involved in it too in terms of the comments. And he says he was unaware of any health risks from e-cigarettes. Then you didn't read the advertisements because they clearly say it. And they say this is not a safe alternative product to cigarettes. They make it clear that it's not safe. But, you know, hey, everyone was doing it. He said he progressed from vaping over-the-counter e-liquids to THC, the main psychoactive component in cannabis, which he got from a drug dealer. Wait.
So wait a minute.
Yeah, so wait a minute. What
Sir.
is it that damaged your lungs? Was it the crap you got from a drug dealer or the over-the-counter nicotine products?
Real-
Yeah, I have a feeling it's not the over-the-counter shit.
Yeah.
Real quick, Polly, Poppy's screaming at you to look at Discord. No, there she is.
What? There she is.
Well, she's in here now,
Oh,
but she was screaming at you in the chat.
why was she
I
screaming?
cheated. Oh, I can't get into my Twitter
Oh,
because Willow logged me out and I
Oh.
couldn't figure out what
Oh.
email it's under. So I just copied it from my phone and then sent it to you on Discord and then clicked it.
That's one way to do it.
so wait a minute. You pasted the link in my
works.
Discord
It
server?
works.
No, in your DMs.
I see. Okay. Yeah, I don't have Discord open right now.
I'm not dumb enough to put it in a server. Jeez.
What? Okay. I don't know. Maybe everyone was doing it.
They're just spreading
Yeah,
the link around for any
maybe
rando to jump
everyone
in.
wanted to vape. God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Raymond Lewis is like, so he admitted to buying black market drugs? Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
So
what a
Mr.
fucking idiot.
Blah, 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 said he began to develop shivers and started vomiting every day for 3 days before he went to visit a doctor.
Oh God.
It took you 3 days to go see a doctor.
When you were vomiting and shivering and you didn't know why. When doctors took an x-ray of his lungs, they discovered, quote, significant damage, and he was admitted to hospital. If his mom had not brought him to the hospital within the next 2 to 3 days, his breathing could have worsened to the point where he could have died if he didn't seek medical care. Dr. Stephen Amsbury, one of the doctors who saw Mr. Blah, 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 told CNN. It was severe lung disease, especially for a young person. He was short of breath and was breathing heavily. It was very concerning that he would have significant lung damage and possibly some residual changes to after he heals from this. Now, okay, this is where shit starts getting real fun. The lawsuit against Juul has accused the company of sometimes relying on indirect advertising to children, including employing social media users with huge followings to promote Juul products on Twitter and Instagram. But everyone was
They
doing-
advertise?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
The legal case, check this out. The legal case also names a gas station in blah, 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 Illinois as a defendant, accusing it of regularly selling Mr. Blah, 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 nicotine-based Juul products when he was under the legal purchase age of 18. So you went in there and directly misrepresented yourself as being under 18. They sold the shit to you and now you're suing them for doing it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Antonio scumbag ambulance chaser, Mr. Heatherabuzz lawyer, said, to put it mildly, Adam didn't stand a chance to avoid getting hooked on these toxic time bombs.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, he really
Literally
did.
And by the way, I was getting in here, so I missed it. But the people getting this lung disease are vaping THC for the most part. Is that what he was doing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so it's not Joel's fault that he put a different oil that's not meant to be in there.
That's right.
It's also, even if he got hooked on vaping, the evil thing, that's not what's killing people. The other thing he was probably already doing that he stuck in there is what made him sick.
Hey, Camel's here. Hey, Campbell. And Burton says to vape weed, you need a different kind of vaporizer. Yeah, you absolutely do. You're not wrong.
Yeah, you do.
It's like, this kid's a fucking idiot.
Yeah, and he had every single fucking chance not to do this.
I mean, listen to Antonio ambulance chaser here. To put it mildly, Adam didn't stand a chance to avoid getting hooked on these toxic time bombs. Come on.
But all the cool kids are doing it.
Yeah, I hope those are not the arguments you're making in your filings, man.
God damn.
Like, anybody with any kind of common sense would go, maybe I shouldn't do this. Oh, God.
And then now, here's where the story, because never leave an opportunity when writing a news article to not shove your own personal politics in there, scumbag journalist. Federal investigation into vaping-related lung illnesses is ongoing and has not identified the cause of the illnesses. Right.
Sure.
Although a number of patients have reported using e-cigarettes with cannabis-related products such as THC. No. Really? You mean
and we have no idea what's causing this.
Yeah. Earlier this week, Donald Trump announced his administration would ban flavored e-cigarettes following the spate of illnesses. However, Mr. Trump appeared to take a less aggressive tone on Friday when he tweeted, "Well, I like vaping as an alternative to cigarettes. We need to make sure this alternative is safe for all. Let's get counterfeits off the market and keep children from vaping."
Exactly.
Yeah, but it's like, never miss the opportunity to bring up Trump's name. Never.
Well, no, I was annoyed the first thing he said. The first thing he said did piss me off, because this whole, Monkey has been going on rants about it too. The idea adults don't like yummy flavors is bullshit. One of the reasons I like to vape instead of smoke is it tastes better and it smells better. If I'm just going to do tobacco flavored crap, I'll just go back to cigarettes. Shit.
Exactly. It's just...
Evil One's asking for the story link.
Story link? Okay.
By the way, Polly, I didn't want you to drink alone, so I put the little bit of White Lightning I had left in my coat.
Nice.
Oh boy.
Alcoholism and solidarity.
Yeah. Hey, I'm really not that bad. I bought alcohol for my birthday. I gave the bottle of rum to my brother-in-law because, and I still have this miniature of the White Lightning I took one shot of off my birthday and then had a brain aneurysm.
Yeah.
So that was still on my nightstand, and then I have one beer in the house, and all of that was still from my birthday in August.
Jesus.
Wow.
So I really don't drink that much. Everybody makes it sound like I drink a lot because when I stream, I usually have a beer with me, but I drink 1 or 2 beers. I bought a 12-pack on my birthday.
You know what? Assassin the Grey makes an interesting point here. He's like, bruh, everyone claims weed is not addictive. Funny, I have seen genuine pot addicts. So have I. And I'm not even trying to be all wishy-washy or won't someone think about the kids on this. It's just man, if you smoke weed every day, and you get into the vibe of it in a big way, and let's say you've got anxiety issues, you've got PTSD because you're a combat veteran, any one of the many reasons that you might be self-medicating, or you just really get into it, yeah, that counts as a psychological addiction. You're going to have problems just going cold turkey. Not chemical problems the way you might with opiates, but for people to laugh at someone who's like, weed isn't addictive. It depends on the person's life circumstances, I would argue.
Yeah, I mean, I've known some really big potheads. But what's like, again, it is easier to quit than, like you said, opiate, I can't say that word. Heroin or like, crack or meth or something.
Okay. Some powerful fentanyl or whatever.
Yeah, like all the other hardcore drugs, they're way harder to quit, and you can actually die from being in withdrawal.
Sure. Yeah, I'm not trying to compare them
Weed,
in terms of I'm not trying to compare them in terms of intensity, but somebody who's like regularly used to it and they are using it for self-medication, it's not going to be like to quit. Yeah. You know what I mean? There's a legitimate addiction there, I think.
Oh yeah, it's the same for me and caffeine though.
Well, I may or may not be a caffeine addict. I don't know.
Oh, please. Come on.
Caffeine,
you never.
Hey, I'm a grad student. Caffeine, nicotine, and alcohol are a way of life. How we do it.
Not even arguing.
Well, caffeine's the only reason I'm still up.
Pete says it's, I would say it's more habit forming than addictive. Yeah, I'll buy that. Sure. And for some people, it's become a really hard to break habit. I'd buy that.
Yeah. Well, like you said, for people using it for self-medication. Like I had a friend, he had really bad anger issues because of his childhood, and the way he dealt with it was by blowing up every 15 seconds. So he smoked weed to chill out and, act normal.
Right.
And it was really, when he had a kid, he had to quit, of course, because it's illegal and we don't like our kids being taken away by CPS. So, he quit. He did quit. It was really hard for him because he had to learn how to manage his emotions on his own.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I get what you're saying on that part. It can be addictive if you're using it for reasons like pain or, to handle your emotions. It does make it a lot harder to go off of it because then you're back in pain.
I was telling Far about this article earlier. Black transgender woman found torched in car as campaigners warn LGBT rights are fragile in Trump's America.
What the fuck?
Yeah, because no LGBT people died before then, ever.
Nope. It's all under Trump's America.
Yeah, everything changed when Trump attacked.
I guess it's bad to be laughing at someone who got torched, but it's I'm not laughing at that.
No, it is.
I'm laughing at these idiots trying to connect it to something on their bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, you're the one disrespecting this person's death or the meaningfulness of this person's death by trying to connect it to some garbage. Fuck off. Okay, get this. This is Katie Shepard from The Independent again. These people never fail at The Independent. They could teach lessons to CNN on how to write garbage journalism. Get this. On the still dark morning of September 4th, tucked behind a rural Florida neighborhood, dotted with a single-story house, painted bright green, turquoise, and pink, flames licked the metal frame of a PT Cruiser parked in the grass.
Is this a comic book?
I was going to say, is this a news story or a book?
Right?
Yeah, look, this is the beginning of a fucking novel.
Yeah. When Hendry County...
I'm waiting for Batman to swoop in.
Right?
Then the bat signal appeared and everybody...
Jesus.
When Hendry County Sheriff's deputies doused the flames, they found a woman's body inside, so badly burned she couldn't be identified for days. Now police say that B. Love Slater, a black, transgender, 23-year-old from South Florida, was murdered.
Okay, now I can get why the comic book tone. That sounds like a comic book character.
And then they put the bat signal in the sky.
Yeah, well, are you trying to say B. Love Slater sounds like a comic book
character?
Yes.
Yeah.
Totally does.
So, now get this. Investigators have not announced any suspects or leads, and the sheriff's office told reporters they could not say whether the grisly homicide was a hate crime. Now...
Yeah, it could have been like a crime of passion.
But Trump, though.
But Trump, exactly. Thank you, Far.
Yeah.
It's like...
Now
let's go ahead and speculate. Like, Jesus.
Now,
We're
now
just
I'm actually picturing Albert reading this to Bruce.
I mean, it is horrible to laugh at, but I mean, like you said, we're laughing at the way the person's interpreting all of this, not
The way it's
actual
written.
crime.
Yeah,
You
like
can't
it's
help but
awful what
laugh.
happened to the person.
Yeah.
It's absolutely awful. Like, holy shit. Can't imagine, like, the pain that the family is probably going through with this.
Yeah, that's horrible.
But
The way they're
but
writing about
it's
this
more-
is insane.
Well, it's like,
Yeah.
here. I'll adopt the Twitter anger mentality. What are you trying to say? There's no such thing as hate crimes?
So what you're saying is,
Yeah. Is that, don't you realize that people get attacked? Don't you understand that transgender people are oppressed and suffering? Are you saying transgender people have nothing harsh to deal with? It's like, no, I didn't say that at all. Well, then agree
Same.
with me. You know.
Yeah, you can't get like just. It's like, can we wait and find out why this happened before we decide why this happened? Like,
So
I don't know.
yeah.
Susan Harrell from the Hendry County Sheriff's Office told ABC News, quote, "We can't say it's a hate crime yet because we don't even know what the motive was." But
That makes sense.
now that's the whole story, like as an actual story. Yes, it enters into some purple prose in terms of the reportage and over-the-top narrative style, but that's all the facts of the case. Now, let's go into rampant speculation and talk about shit that ain't got shit to do with shit. But advocates say that what was it, B. Sonny Slater?
Miss Slater.
yeah.
B loves Slater. He loves Slater.
Let's just call her Slater.
But advocates say that Miss Slater was the latest victim in an alarming trend as transgender murders are spiking across the U.S., particularly in Florida, where the hate crime statute does not apply to people attacked for their gender identity. So, they did link to that. Like, that's a pretty powerful claim. Hold on, let me grab that article.
Yeah, I mean, an ex could have done this, you know, that had nothing to do with her being trans. They could have just, or a drug dealer, or, I mean, you don't know.
Oh, Ebony
Yeah, like, it
Williams
could
is
have
here.
been a
Hey,
whole
Ebony.
bunch of things. But
Actually,
no,
but she was-
it's
yes.
hate crime.
She was trans, so it must have been a hate crime.
Well, it's that statement and spiking, of course. It's like, well, a rise of one can be considered a spike because we're trying to keep your eyes on this article and we're scumbag news entertainers. So, you know,
Yeah.
we'll call it a spike.
And yeah, there are trans people who get murdered. Nobody's denying that at all. Like,
yeah.
it does happen, especially like around the world, especially, you know, so no one's denying that. It's just like, on this one, can we figure out why first?
And not be so dramatic.
Yeah, this isn't a Batman comic. Like, just report
Although
the
it
news.
reads like the start of one.
Oh god, it does. I don't know, this is crazy.
Well, I'm just doing some.
You doing some meth?
Yes, meth.
It sounded like you said meth. I'm like,
Yeah,
Vale, you
I
might
heard
want to
that
go
too.
off live stream for that.
I said math. Or
you said
He's
meth.
just covering his tracks here.
3
Just
people
covering
heard
your tracks.
that.
You
uh-huh.
meant to say math. I hope.
I didn't mean to say it. I did say it.
No.
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 No. But it's okay. Like, see, I accept your caffeine addiction, the drinking, smoking, nicotine, whatever. Just don't get on the mess.
Okay, so I did just do the math.
Mhm.
Just to clarify.
Okay.
All right.
Only math is being done here.
Yes.
Yes.
Now,
And casual drinking.
the
That too.
Raymond Lewis says maths. Yes, so like Irate Bear insists that it's plural.
But maths?
Yeah, it's always plural apparently, I guess, in the UK, but whatever.
How many
Well,
maths
if it's,
did you
if it's
do?
maths,
It's more than one math.
if you're going to math class, it's maths.
Yeah. Like, if you're in a class, you have to do a lot of math. That makes sense.
Yeah,
Oh,
if you're doing the math, it's just math. It's math class. It's maths.
No, it's not. That's like
Yeah.
pointing at a group of people that are from China and say, look at all the Chineses. It's already plural.
No.
James
Just no.
Polly asked if Polly wants a white pony.
Oh, white pony.
It's a mess joke, sweetie.
Is that what you do when you're doing meth? You're chasing the white pony?
At least that's what you see.
People that are on meth have hallucinations about white ponies?
My mom used to hallucinate about a white horse. I thought that was heroin. Oh well.
Okay, so anyway.
Well, shit.
So the reason I was doing math was that there was a...
Maths?
What the hell was that?
Those are getting the THs out there for everyone.
The TH wasn't the problem.
Gotta go a little before that.
The transgender murders are spiking across the U.S., particularly in Florida, where the hate crime statute does not apply for people attacked because of their gender identity. There's a hot link in there, a hyperlink rather. So I want to read where they're getting that shit from. It's from their own fucking newspaper. That's the Independent, citing the Independent. Oh, nice.
Well, shit.
Woman becomes the 12th transgender person violently killed in the U.S. this year. You motherfuckers, when you read that article, they're including suicides and violent deaths.
Oh my god.
You motherfuckers. You motherfuckers.
Which, I mean, it is a violent death, but you're making people think it was a homicide. You're not specifically saying...
Like, I mean, seriously, everybody upon hearing that knows what the fuck bullshit you were trying to pull. You know, like, I hear you, Poppy. Like, you're saying, oh, well, that is a violent death. It's like, yeah, it is.
Yeah, but you need to be more specific because you're making people think it's a homicide.
Right. But whatever, you know, hey, you know, there's a spate, as they said, a spate of deaths. So, quote, our society needs to work to ensure trans people can live without fear. The American Civil Liberties Union, Florida, sent a statement about Miss Slater's death. Miss Slater's body was found at the edge of Harlem, Florida, in a small community about 65 miles west of West Palm.
That sounds like a horrible place to live.
It does. Slater lived about 32 miles away, around the southern bend of Lake blah, 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 in blah, 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 Florida, an economically depressed town best known for producing NFL talent. Okay.
See, it already sounds like she may have not died because she was trans, because you already have, like, she grew up in a place with a lot of poor people, which, I'm sorry, I grew up poor. I know what happens in poor neighborhoods. It's not good.
Yeah.
And she died in a place called Harlem. Come on.
Ebony asked if I had a great birthday. I did actually have a great birthday. I am still trying to get over how great my birthday was. I said it yesterday and I'll say it again today. Never start drinking and then stop drinking. Because you're going to feel sick. My hangover was doing well, but...
And if you ever wonder why Polly disappears for 3 or 4 days at a time sometimes, that's why.
What? I can't... I'm a single man. I can't go on a bender?
No, you just worry people when you do. You need to, like, give us a warning before you're all the way drunk. Just be like, yo, I may not show up for a while. And, like, disappear.
Mustafa asks Harlem where? Harlem, Florida, sir. I didn't know there was one either, but let's see.
Florida's like Texas. They steal all their city names.
Her friends say Miss Slater, who transitioned her gender earlier this year, wanted to save money to move to Atlanta, where she believed people would be more accepting of her transgender identity. She always had a smile on her face. Her friend Desmond Vereen, who called herself her gay mother, told the Miami Herald. She always gave...
Her gay mother, okay.
What?
Yes.
That's a thing.
Desmond Vereen was B. Love's gay mother.
That's a thing.
Wow, I never thought I'd put those words in that order before.
A lot of people who come out homosexual, trans, their parents disown them. So then you have older gay people who take you under their wing, so you're not alone. They usually call themselves your mom. Unless it's a woman, then they call themselves your dad.
More recently, Miss Slater began posting on Facebook that she'd gotten harassing messages. It scared her. A friend told Out Magazine. Really? Out? She reportedly texted a friend that she wanted to leave town the night she died. She reportedly. Okay. Somebody said that, huh? She posted messages saying she felt as if people were after her to attack and hurt her, and she had conversations with one of her best friends the day she was murdered, saying she wanted to leave the city. Her friend Ann Taurus Williams told Out Magazine. I guess I could keep reading the story, but why?
I mean, as it is, it's a possibility it was a hate crime. It's a possibility it's not a hate crime. Do we have to wait and see? Kind of. That's where this ends. Like,
I mean, do you see what I mean when like so much of that story was covered in the first few paragraphs?
Yeah.
The rest of it is just like, what the fuck are you continuing to talk about this for?
Right. Like, basically, you report there may have been a hate crime, this happened, and then, like, why is it this long?
Yeah.
Well, like Polly said, it's all just speculation throughout the rest of the article.
And it's, were you covering trans issues before 5 minutes ago? Independent. No, you weren't. We all know you weren't. So why are you doing it now? Well, it's a hot topic. That's why.
And you could throw Trump under a bus.
Right. And I think that is so incredibly like disrespectful to just the LGBT community in general. And I don't know. I mean, Trump is the first presidential campaigner during his campaign to be openly for LGBT rights. First one. It's like, oh yeah, but he disallowed them in the military. In a very technical way, yeah. Like, people who are like this and like this and like this, who are looking to join the military, no, because they can't be deployed because of their current medical condition.
People with flat feet can't go with
And that's what I'm saying. It's like, it's not an issue about screw you, you're trans. It's an issue of you're not deployable. Why am I not deployable? Because if you're in the middle of transitioning, here come the technicalities. Not someone who already has transitioned, not someone who's thinking about it, someone who's in the midst of transitioning has gender dysphoria, number one, full of anxiety, and is currently transitioning, i.e. drugs and surgery. As I understand it, it's like, yeah, I can see how that would render you not deployable.
Yeah. People with depression aren't allowed because when you're in, you get put into a group, y'all get so tight-knit. If one person offs themselves, you pretty much lose the whole group. Because they're all so tight-knit. I worked at the VA for a long time. These men were in their 60s and 70s, and when one died, you started seeing them all drop like flies because that's how close they were. You can't have somebody with mental illness in there that's possibly not going to be able to handle this stuff and ruin everything, you know?
You guys hear about the gamer that got 15 months for the swatting thing?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That sounds like I've heard it several times, actually.
First time that I haven't been really watching Lords of the Night, and that's where I tend to hear those stories first. But yeah, that was wild.
Well, the other person who actually called got 20 years.
Really?
Yep.
I didn't hear about this specific case, but this same story has been played out several times.
It's the case that we heard about a long time ago, the argument over Call of Duty. The guy gave a random address.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And an innocent guy got killed that had nothing to do with the Call of Duty argument.
They finally actually passed something down on that?
Yeah, the guy who made the actual call, from what I hear, I don't know for sure, but from what I hear, the guy who made the actual call to the FBI or whatever, he got 20 years. And the other guy who talked him into it, who got in the fight on Call of Duty, got 15 months.
Oh.
Jeez.
All over an argument on Call of Duty.
Well, yeah, that's why I don't touch that community. It's toxic as fuck. Unironically so.
Jesus. Like, I can't imagine. Okay, everyone who plays video games knows you rages. You know, you rage. There's video game rage. It's real. But to take it into real life to the point where you might actually murder someone over it.
Yeah, if you're playing a video game and you actually feel like you're gonna actually murder someone, that's not the game. That's something wrong with you.
Yeah, put the controller down and step away.
Start playing
go get
like
some help.
Pokemon. Play something that's not as competitive. I don't know. Like, go back to the Nintendo regular game.
Go play Animal Crossing.
Right?
There you go.
You need a lot of Animal Crossing.
Anything else?
Far, do you have the chat open?
Yes.
Platty's trying to tell you something.
Oh, shit. Okay.
So you just got
Right back.
busted. You didn't have it open.
No, I didn't. I'm doing something else at the same time, though.
Okay, Jake
Yeah.
Thompson corrected me. It wasn't a random address. It was an old address, but it's still not where that person lived. It's like someone who had nothing to do with it lived there.
Oh. There we go. Okay. Ancient hand-holding skeletons are men, but Italy won't say gay.
What?
What?
Isn't that a great headline?
Did I put more of the moonshine in my Coke? What? What was that sentence?
Ancient hand-holding skeletons are men, but Italy won't say gay.
Okay, because, well, there are situations where men hold hands other than just because they have sex with each other.
Yeah.
Especially in Italy. They already come off very gay, and they're not.
Gay's their default.
Like, just the title of that has so many things brought up in my head. Like, what the?
I just love that title.
Yeah.
The headline is just awesome. It.
Skeletons holding hands. Still not gay.
Yeah, Italy refuses to admit they're gay.
That these skeletons may have been gay.
That's right.
Maybe.
Fucking homophobic Italy, you bastards.
Like, I hold hands with my friends. That doesn't mean I was having sex with them.
Well, when you read the article, you get it because they were being promoted as like, okay, so Rome. In 2009, the straight world. The straight world? You mean
The straight world.
You
Do
mean
we
the
have
world?
different planets?
Yeah, like you mean basically the world, because that's you know.
So, wait, no, is it like a theme park or something? Like Straight World?
It has very boring roller coasters.
It doesn't mean you're ignoring the existence of gays or denying their humanity or any of those things. But to say the straight world, you're talking about the mass of fucking everybody, the overwhelming majority, to the point saying the straight world becomes laughable.
No, we're just in our own little world, and the gays and the bis and the trannies, they need to go away. Shoo.
The straight
Oh,
world.
far.
You're not part of our world anymore.
Far.
I feel attacked.
You're out of the planet. Well, you
Go
have
back to
you
my
live
world.
in Bye.
Go to the bi world.
You can have.
What are you doing here in
like, what is
straight
it,
world
bullshit?
for?
You can have dullshit instead. Like, half the time you spend in straight world, the other half you visit Blatty and trans
yeah.
world.
Trans world.
You have to.
I
You
gotta
need to
get my
build a
fingers in
spaceship.
Trans World.
You need to build a spaceship. The
So-
hot
Can I apply
planet.
for my visa to visit the Trans World? Oh shit.
So I actually get where they're going with this article. It kind of makes sense. It's just written in such a like, oh fuck you kind of way. Who is oh, this is the Daily Beast. Barbie Nadu. You. Anyway. The straight world swooned when archaeologists discovered two ancient skeletons from between the 4th and 6th century AD holding hands in a grave in Modena, Italy. They were dubbed, quote, the lovers of Modena, and have become synonymous with heterosexual romance, their image now often used in Italy to symbolize undying love. So it's kind of like egg on your face if you find out that they're both men, so I kind of get where you're coming at with this article. I'm assuming that all of the things that this person just said are true, though. Are they actually the lovers of Modena? Are they actually synonymous with heterosexual romance? Or any of those sound like pretty...
I have a question. What dipshit archaeologist didn't realize those were both dudes?
They get into it here in a second. Really quick, Ex-Bubba Hotep says, remember to tip the bartender. Yes, remember to tip the bartender. Absolutely. I agree. I got to stand here all night with bottle ready at the pour. Speaking of which, that calls for a shot.
Yes, be patient.
Stock says in trans world everything is blue, pink, and white.
Pastels. It's all pastels, motherfuckers. Even
Yep.
the tree.
Even the trees.
Speaking of Italy, salute. Here's to you.
So I just ran into an interesting glitch thing on here. That's...
When they were discovered, archaeologists said the bones were in such a state of decay that the usual genetic-based methods in confirming biological sex of ancient remains was no use. Still, one of the figures was slightly smaller than the other, so it was assumed that they were a male and a female. The individuals did not die in situ.
How do you know?
Well, I don't know what situ is. Did not die in situ. Their hands were placed holding each other's by whomever buried them. Their hands were placed holding each other's by...
Yeah, they were. Basically, they yeah.
Yeah. Most likely to represent a relationship between the two people.
Could be father and son.
Yeah, says who? That was an interesting guess you just took. Did the archaeologist just say that, or did you? 11 people were buried in the cemetery where they were found, all initially thought to be soldiers and victims of an ancient war based on the wounds consistent with battles. The consensus amongst anthropologists was that the presumed male and... The presumed female handholder was the lover of one of the warriors. This week, scientists at the University of Bologna, the University of Bologna.
Bologna!
Yeah, it's actually the University
Bologna.
Yeah, it's the University of Bologna, because that's a place, far. Announced, quote...
No, it's Bologna.
The,
Fuck you, Italy.
Yeah, I call it bologna Bologna, so it works.
I call it Bologna. Actually, I just say Bologna because it's less questionable.
It's spelled Bologna.
Jake Thompson says situ means on site. Fair enough. They weren't buried. Okay. They did not die there. They were subsequently buried there. Gotcha. This week, scientists at the University of Bologna announced the lovers of Medina were actually both biologically male, thanks to a revolutionary process that they used to examine tooth enamel. A certain peptide that is present only in males was found. Oh, this is so patriarchal. It's all lies.
Like,
Oh,
couldn't they just look at the pelvic bone and go, hey, those aren't girls?
yeah, I guess. I don't know.
Pelvic bones are always very different between men and women.
I hear you.
Ours detach, y'all's don't. It's pretty...
The scientists also found that only one of the 11 individuals at the cemetery was female, and she wasn't holding anyone's hand. Then suddenly the handholders weren't
She was
lovers.
asexual. Sorry.
The handholders weren't lovers at all. Italian archaeologists insisted that surely they were brothers or cousins who died in battle.
Or father and son. There's lots of weird relationships out here, people.
And here the fun starts, right? Because it's like, we're done with the story now, so let's enter into random speculation, because that's what we scumbag journalists do. Homosexuality was well documented in Roman times. I thought you said this was the 6th and 7th century. Anyway, this was in...
Well, there were still gay people then, too, Polly.
But they said Roman times.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, the Empire of Rome continued on for a long... Okay, doesn't matter. Because the Roman times that they start talking about is Emperor Nero and Pythagoras.
They're just pointing out Italians have many fags.
Oh, wow. Disavow.
Hey, they're the ones trying to point it out constantly. I'm just saying.
Emperor Nero married women to bear children, but he had sex with men for pleasure and a horse. Let's just be honest about that part too. He publicly married 2 men, Pythagoras and years later Sporo, who was castrated and made to wear a woman's gown during the ceremony, according to historical accounts by Pliny the Elder, Suetonius, and Cassius Dio, whose writings account for much of what is known about ancient Rome. Also known to be a huge polemicist, but let's not get into that either. Well, I mean, that article's pretty much done, isn't it? It's just...
That's okay. This is one thing I don't get about our culture. Like, the only relationships we're completely accepting of are romantic relationships. Like, I know people online get weirded out that I'll say, like, I say I love you, Polly, and people get weirded out by that because they're like, well, you have a man, you shouldn't be saying that. And I'm like, I don't love him like that.
Well, people also get weirded out by kissy emojis at people you're not in a relationship with.
Right. It's very weird. Like, you can't eat. me and my best friend, we're very touchy-feely at times, but not in a sexual way. And people always think we're like lesbians. And I'm like, no, she's like my sister, you. Like, even if it's with your family, like your sister, your brother, your mother, your father, people get weirded out if you're too affectionate. Like, the only person you're allowed to touch or hold hands with or kiss or anything is your significant other that you're romantic with. I don't understand that. Like, that's very confusing for me as, you know, our culture, because I grew up in very different cultures. I grew up, you know, with Native Americans, I grew up with Italians, I grew up with Hispanics, and in different cultures, they're very affectionate. Like Italians will kiss total strangers. They're like, come here, and they'll just start kissing your cheek, and it's very awkward. You're like, hi. But, you know,
hey,
here in America,
Vic Mignogna is Italian and raised in an Italian family. Are you trying to justify his predatory behavior?
How dare you?
But I'm just saying, like, I don't understand why these two guys holding hand automatically means they have to be gay. I'm not saying they aren't. It's very possible. There's always been gay people. But they could also be father or son or cousins or brothers or just really close friends. Like, why are we assuming what they were, you know, that many years ago? We don't know.
Prosiglas Pythagoras was centuries before Nero. Yeah, and in another part of the Mediterranean. But I mean, it's because of how badly written that sentence is. It makes it sound like, comma, now we're going to name someone else. The Pythagoras that they're referring to was one of the men that Nero married in the public ceremony. It's just really poorly written. Yeah.
That's not surprising.
Yeah, no, it's not at all. And Nero was totes progressive. Yeah, he totally was, the way he wanted to name his horse as his co-counsel. See, he was trans-species. He understood the proper value of everyone.
Am I being too loud?
Are you being too loud, Pop-Tart? Are you disturbing people's
Hold on,
sleeps?
Chris just wandered in.
I don't know why we all felt the need to fall silent. A person hilariously named Harry Cockburn wrote this article.
Nice name.
Yeah, isn't it? Harry Cockburn. Come on, that's pretty good.
That sounds painful.
It's bad enough to have a burn in that area. It was also hairy. Hair goes up like a fucking Roman candle, man. The article he wrote is entitled, "Man Accidentally Kills Himself While Showing Off His Swordsmanship During Parade."
And this was written by someone named Harry Cockburn.
Correct.
With that title, okay.
Yeah. A 60-year-old man reportedly cut his throat during a religious procession.
Oh, wrong sword.
A man taking part... Oh, yeah, by the way, this is, again, the UK Independent, because these people are just, like, endless suppliers of this kind of fodder. It's fantastic. This was labeled as being news, world, Asia. And I'm like, oh, so this happened in, like, China, Pacific Rim, Indonesia, Japan. No. This is the UK Independent. So, like, half the fucking world is Asia as far as they're concerned in Britain. I don't know what is up with that. Just say, you can't even say South Asia to make it like, okay, Indian people, Pakistanis, South Asians. Yeah, that makes sense. But I mean, just Asia can mean anyone from somebody from Laos to somebody whose great-great-grandparents left India generations ago. They're all Asians as far as the British news is concerned. Fucking wild. Anyway. Hello? Okay, I just let everyone cut out there.
Bless you.
Bless you.
Demons be gone.
A man taking part in a parade in India accidentally killed himself while demonstrating his swordsmanship, according to local reports.
I shouldn't laugh at that.
While performing during a procession in honor of the Muslim month of Mahak, the first month of the Islamic New Year, the blade of the sword cut the man's neck and killed him, quote, on the spot.
Do you wonder if he was embarrassed for like half a second?
Yep, he probably was. Not so much embarrassed as I think he was shocked, like, oh shit, and that's it.
Dude, I would feel such shame and embarrassment if I was trying to show off and then I accidentally killed myself.
The man, named as 60-year-old Mohammed Sayem. Really? That's your name, Mohammed Sayem? Okay. Was rushed to hospital, but was already dead, according to the local news site Bahak Foreign. The incident happened during a parade in Nalanda, East India. His son was said to have been in the parade and saw the accident occur. Police have launched an investigation into his death. Following the accident, there was reportedly chaos in the parade as people sought emergency services. Doctors reportedly said the man died from blood loss. The body will be sent for a post-mortem to be carried out.
Did that actually have to be questioned why he died?
But this is what I mean. In a giant parade, how do you know someone didn't just cut the guy's throat because they were his enemy?
I mean, that's a possibility too, but I'm just saying, like, on the blood loss part.
Oh, right.
Did that have to be questioned? I mean, he had a cut throat.
Well, you could poison somebody and then cut their throat so they would just think, you know.
I'm pretty sure the poison will work a lot slower than all the blood spurting out of you.
Yeah, but you could cut their throat after the fact. I don't know. I'm guessing here. Got nothing.
Yeah. I'm just confused by that. The doctors say he died from blood loss. Well, yeah. Everybody saw that.
Italic
Sorry,
says all the men are
annoying.
named Muhammad. No, I get that. It's just against all expectations. The man's name was Muhammad. It's right.
We'll look at that.
I'm slightly out of it. Someone said Darwin. I can't say it. Someone say it for me. Darwinism.
Darwinism.
Yeah, and I read it dwarfism.
Dwarfism.
And I'm like, wait, dwarfism at its finest. And then I read it again. And I'm like, oh.
Hey, to be fair, a couple nights ago I read columnists as communists.
Sometimes that happens when you're just scanning through it, and then you're like, oh, what? Hey, that was just awkward, though. I'm like, dwarfism? Was he a midget? And I'm not drunk, y'all. This is how I normally am.
Oh yeah, she doesn't need to be drunk to be like this.
Okay, here, Bar.
Hmm?
Or Pop-Tart. Who wants to read one side of a Twitter conversation, and I'll read the other, and it'll make more sense than me popping back and forth.
I think I just proved that shouldn't be me.
I can do it.
All right. Where are you, Far? There you are, upside down harlot.
Yeah.
Wait for that to
Oh
load.
boy.
I'm a pop thought, and she's a harlot.
Yep.
You two have the worst case of internalized misogyny. It is just...
Yes, internalized misogyny. Let's call it that.
Which also means not a twat.
Yes.
Okay, so to kind of get into the...
Right, so do I click the link?
yes, you do.
Will it give me a virus?
Why would it... What?
Will it give me a virus?
You don't have a virus scanner, first of all?
I'm clicking this on my iPad.
Okay,
You
so...
can
I'm
have
joking.
virus scanners.
You know, like, remember the Twitter DM virus thing? Like a
Oh,
week ago?
Alright,
just
Alright.
click it.
This was
Alright.
this
It does-
was a found joke.
It doesn't say this is especially for you and it takes you to like some dating site.
it doesn't say only for you in all caps.
Right.
I think that's pretty much done now.
Only for you.
The title of
Everyone else you follow.
Okay, the title of this article is Wear a Black Dress and I'll Surprise You. This woman's worst date ever is officially the worst date of all time. First dates can be nerve-wracking experiences. Even if your date seems normal, there's no guaranteeing they won't be strange and the date won't be a total disaster. There might be fake laughing, food spillages, or the awkward or unwanted advances. Though most of us won't have had a first date as odd as a friend of whoever the fuck, who tweeted a story that makes our hair stand up on end and not in a good way. When my mate asked if she told me about her worst date, I didn't anticipate this. The story is a reminder that in most cases, it could always be worse. Okay.
So
Which... I guess I would.
So which are you?
I would end up reading the majority of it, but that's the female. So no, you're gonna have to read. I'm the greenish one, and you're the white one.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, so I'm the white one. Got it.
She is the one.
She's the white one, and it makes sense because he's been drinking, so he's the greenish one.
It all comes together.
It all worked out.
Okay.
Yeah. So the following is a messaging exchange chat, and this is the back and forth. So I asked Far to tell me about her worst date ever, and I say, tell me.
Okay. Anyway, this guy was like, wear a black dress and I'll surprise you. So I was like, ooh, romantic. Chatting in the car, it's going swell. Until we turn and I'm like, this is a weird place. Then I see the sign. Oh god, the sign. Saying, crematorium. Oh my god.
He just has interesting hobbies, okay?
No.
Leave him alone.
Okay. No has. I don't know.
Pulls in and I'm like, are you out of fuel?
No way, no way, no way.
He goes, nah, just really needed someone to come to this thing with me. ... And thought if I told you, you wouldn't come.
Fuck off. Actual fuck off.
Pulls in, and at this point, I'm like, fuck, I've got no way out. So I'm like, fuck it, what's the worst that could happen? It's his nan's funeral.
No!
Ducking people are sobbing, and I'm like, I can't leave, I'd be a massive bitch.
You stayed?
Imagine calling an Uber to a funeral home. Yeah.
5 laughy emojis.
Is this supposed to be a next one? Because it hasn't loaded for me at all.
Yeah, it's supposed to keep going. It doesn't just keep going for you.
Yeah, well, it didn't. That one didn't load. Now it has that I've reloaded the page.
Okay.
I think. Yeah, no, it has now. Okay. Don't know what that was about.
I replied with 5 laughy emojis after you said, imagine calling an Uber to a funeral home.
Yeah. Didn't stay for the wake.
You stayed for the entire service?
Made him take me home after the service.
Fuck off.
He was holding my hand, crying rage. I couldn't leave.
I'm putting this on Twitter.
Nah, they were all concerned with the dead woman. He just went, this is Emily. Didn't meet the dad, but the mum was on some kind of medication. She must have been Xanax, maybe? I don't know. Anyway, yeah, he cried, and I had to comfort this total stranger as he said hello to family. Turns out, his girlfriend had left him a few weeks earlier, and everyone had been looking forward to meeting her. So he looked for someone to fill the spot. Wrecked.
That's the end of the Twitter conversation. Wrecked. Of course, after that
Wrecked.
tweet went viral, people were aghast at the awkwardness of this story. And she writes, as soon as I read, quote, black dress, I knew this was going to be, but couldn't quite believe it. It actually did go there, and then it did. Holy shit. And then some idiot named Plastic is Scary with a little growing tree on Twitter said the following. I want to be surprised, but this year has taught me men are capable of anything, even the lowest of lows. Why are you just writing some random retard's misandrist fucking statement? How's that part of the story?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know why him being a male has anything to do with it. This is just a very awkward person. Like, women can be just fucked up.
I love how the first response is from Plastic is Scary. Man, if anything in the last year has taught me anything, the woman with the close-cut crew cut that has a receding hairline like any 50-year-old man you know, tinted blonde, a black woman with hoop earrings I could fit over my head. And you're talking about how men are capable of the lowest of lows. You. Way to live up to the stereotype of the angry black woman on social media. I don't know. I
Yeah,
fucking
like
hate
the
social
story,
media.
it's like I think I'm a bit numb to weird stories like this now.
Yeah, that's nothing compared to shit I've heard.
Yeah, honestly, that's not the worst date ever.
Well, like it's still bad, but it's more like,
Awkward as hell.
dude, what the fuck were you thinking?
Yeah, like the
More
worst
than
date ever
anything.
would be like people who went on a first date with a serial killer. That's bad.
That is pretty bad.
Yeah, but like I guess I've seen like so many. I guess I was expecting it to go the nice guys route, you know, of it being like fucking cunt, kill yourself.
Yep.
Yeah,
Elliot
not
Roger.
this.
No, on the
Yeah,
guy's
like,
side,
okay.
I'm not sure why he didn't just like have a friend of his go with him.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Why, or like put a Craigslist out as being like, I need a fake girlfriend. Like, you don't trick someone into it. That's bad. Just put like a Craigslist out, be like, I'll give you $50 to pretend to be my girlfriend at a funeral. You know, people will do it.
It's very strange, but you know.
I guess she was just the closest vagina to him. He said, hey, you can help me.
Yeah, well, warn a person.
Yeah, warn a person.
Just be like, hey, I have to do this. It's really embarrassing. Do you think you could help me out? And then we'll go on an actual date. I think the worst part is the lying about it. Be like, yeah, take you somewhere real special. And then it's his crib.
Yeah, it's like a fucking funeral. Like, goddamn.
I mean, that's special, but not in the way she was planning.
Yeah, not the right kind of special.
No.
Oh, you know Felicity Huffman?
No.
She's
the
name.
From Desperate Housewives, apparently, and she's married to William H. Macy, and she was caught up in that college admission scam.
Yeah, I know about the college scam, yeah.
Huffman says she fully accepts her punishment for the college scam. You know what her punishment is? 15 days in jail.
Oh, yeah, well, that's easy to accept.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, oh my god, you accepted it?
So stunning and brave.
Why the hell would you use the word littoral in a headline? How many people know what littoral means?
I think that's the first time I've ever heard that word.
It means related to rivers or lakes.
Yeah. I knew it, but that's because my mom was weird about vocabulary. Probably not a lot of people.
Stargazer asks, how am I doing? Hey, Stargazer, I'm doing pretty well. Slowly getting over a hangover here. By drinking.
Drinking more to ease the hangover.
Well, it does technically work. You don't realize you feel like shit until that alcohol wears off.
But that will happen while I'm asleep tonight. You see? Crazy like a fox.
Oh, just throwing this in because I feel like it. It's my anniversary.
Is it?
Yeah, 11 years.
Yay! Happy anniversary, Pop-Tart.
Yeah, we're celebrating tonight. So
Tell Chris he's a soldier.
Oh, hey. I mean, it's true, but hey.
You're right, but you're a dick.
Right? I mean, between me and my girls, I tell people he's a saint all the time.
Well, I was thinking of you, but Willow seems perfectly lovely. And Angel just says funny things and goes about her eccentric ways.
You don't get to see them when they're pissed off.
That's true. From my perspective, they've never been angry because I've never heard them get pissed off.
You're like, they're just the sweetest girls ever, and I'm like dodging pots and pans. So.
They throw pots and pans?
They have, yeah.
Considering they know how to use a knife, I think pots and pans are the least of your worries.
Hey, my daughters have never threatened to stab me. I give them that.
Yet.
Wow.
Well, we have a general rule since they were about 8 years old because my kids grow very quickly. I mean, anyone who knows about me realizes that. So at 8, I sat them both down at the age of 8. It was like, okay, you're getting big. Now here's the new rule. You come at mommy like you're going to fight like an adult. We're fighting like an adult. They're like, what does that mean? I was like, I will put your ass back. And they're like, okay. And we've never had a physical fight.
You can't complain about the black guy you get.
Nope. Sorry, I know too many people whose kids like got in the teen years and then started like trying to punch them and stuff. And the parents are like, "What do I do? I love my baby." And I'm like, "Push that bitch down the stairs."
You turn them into monkey for a little bit.
They won't hit you again. I'll guarantee that.
I'll be lucky to get off the floor.
I've fallen down the stairs.
Break the fucking neck.
At worst, you break a leg or an arm. You're fine. I never want to hurt my kids, ever. Trust me. People always think I'm abusive the way I talk. I don't even spank my kids. They're aware if they go too far, and I'm not afraid to.
But, no, on the topic of anniversaries, Kara and I have now been dating for a whole year.
Yay!
Cool. So, today or recently?
Today, yeah.
Hey, we have the same anniversary.
Yep.
That's cool. A year is good, especially nowadays. You don't see that too often.
Mm-hmm.
Younger people date for 6 months, and that's a long, long time. Okay. So a year is great.
I think that's about as long as my first one lasted.
Yeah, I mean that's normal for younger couples, though. You know.
Mm-hmm.
You should see the ones in junior high that Angel goes to. They're they date for 3 weeks, and then they're totally ruined when they break up, and they have another girlfriend or boyfriend in a couple days.
I've had a few friends like that, even during middle school, let alone high school. Every 2 to 3 weeks, they were in a new relationship.
Right, and they're so in love.
Yeah, they're so in love, and then one disagreement, and they're done.
Right. He borrowed someone's pencil.
And it wasn't mine.
So, But yeah, congratulations. Yeah, that's why I took the week off work. Well, besides the fact that I needed I've never taken a vacation before. So, yay. All right, I'll stop talking about me.
So, just again, The Independent, it never stops. There are just so many great stories. Every top Democrat can beat Trump. Their unique strategies will determine who gets the shot.
Is there such a thing as a top Democrat this time around?
It's pretty much Biden if you take the aggregated polls.
Isn't he the one that's confused all the time?
Yes.
He's the one that forgot the president's name.
He's the one that thought Bernie was the president for a few minutes.
That's right, yeah. He referred to Bernie as the president.
It doesn't matter when you got Chris Ryota at The Independent and all of his like-minded morons in their fake news publishing industry for the sake of entertainment. Anyway, I ended up reading off because I don't really care about this particular article because it just says their unique strategies will determine who gets that shot. You did strategies plural when it should have been possessive because you're talking about each one of their individual strategies. Chris Ryota, you really need to hire an editor. Anyway.
Yeah, get Chris Elizabeth.
Right, yeah, because that guy's such a great fucking writer. This is an article where it's just like, I want to talk wonderfully about each one of the Democratic candidates. How can I do it? Well, each one of these guys can beat Trump. Now, so let me just talk about how awesome each one is individually and how they're going to do that. That's what the whole article is. So I'm like, this got boring, and it's like, what are you even basing that on? Now, get this. This is the first sentence in this article. Each of the five leading 2020 Democratic candidates can beat the president in a general election, according to the latest national matchup polls. Plural. The latest national matchup polls. So a whole bunch of polls are showing that? Wow, that's rough. Okay, well, let's take the hyperlink to where you're basing that on. Oh, you're basing it on your own article from The Independent. Jesus Christ, buddy. Chris Ryota cited his own fucking article from the same newspaper as the basis for that.
Well, he did his research that time, you see.
Well,
and,
what he did is deliberately mislead because when you look at it, it's Trump lashes out after poll, singular, 1, says he wouldn't lose badly in 2020 that he would rather lose badly in 2020 to Biden, Warren, Sanders, and Harris. Wait a minute. You said
That's
each
3.
Yeah, well, it's 4. Biden, Warren, Sanders,
can't
and Harris.
count.
No, but he said it was the top 5 front runners in polls would all beat him. Okay, well, let's go to that article. It's actually only 4, and it's a single poll. You motherfucker. But what does it matter, right? Oh, it's morally true or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, technically true.
Yeah. Trump responds to this in a hypothetical poll. This is a tweet sent out by Trump, right? And this is great. He lambasts this in Trumpian style. In a hypothetical poll done by one of the worst pollsters of all time, the Amazon Washington Post / ABC, absolutely right. They actually do have the worst polling record. Do you know how badly they said that Hillary Clinton was going to beat Donald Trump? Oh my God.
Wasn't it like 95% chance it was going to happen?
That poll was done in tandem with, it was an ABC poll with the New York Times. Because the New York Times were the ones publishing it, 92% chance for Hillary Clinton beating Donald Trump. But it was like the lead up to it, they had misrepresented it. So, well, I shouldn't say misrepresented. Their polls said that Hillary Clinton was going to so badly beat this guy. And they're saying it again. So anyway, Trump says, quote, in a hypothetical poll done by one of the worst pollsters of all time, the Amazon Washington Post / ABC, which predicted I would lose to crooked Hillary by 15 points. How did that work out? Sleepy Joe, Pocahontas, and virtually all the others would beat me in the general election. Sleepy Joe and Pocahontas. God damn it, Trump.
Hey, off topic just slightly.
Sure.
Does anyone else feel like all these polls are just trying to like peer pressure us into voting for someone? Because like I don't think they actually poll anyone. I just think they go, I want this person to win, so let's tell everyone else is voting for them.
Yeah. Here's another shot.
Yep, he's going shots again.
It's only shot number 2. And the beer I'm chasing it with, it's fine.
So it's probably shot 6.
Shot 2.
Yeah, I was gonna say 3 shots later, it'll still be shot number 2.
Don't. As I understand it, I hung on shot number 12 for a while last night. But that's
you had 2 10s.
That's why I say that.
Yeah, you had 2 10s, 2 11s, and then several 12s.
Several. She didn't lost count. It was several 12s.
Yeah, there was just a lot of 12s. I'm not sure how many.
More than 112 is too many.
Trump responds, quote, this is a phony suppression poll meant to build up their Democratic partners. Yeah, that's exactly what you were just describing, Pop-Tart. It's called a suppression poll. We're going to run a poll over and over and over again, and when the results look the way that we want, we're going to monkey with the results, not lie. We're only polling Democrats and independents, and we say that if you go to our website and read the fine print. And it's like, if you want a poll of people that are going to support strong gun control, do your poll in Massachusetts, do your poll in Maryland. They both got really strong opinions on gun control. You'll get the result that you want. It's like the statistic that people have said over, Donald Trump said it, Elizabeth Warren has cited it in the Democratic debate. Over 90% of Americans believe in universal background checks. That was all taken from one poll done in Maryland in 1997. I'm not kidding. But it's a real poll. It's a real statistic because it's factual in that a fact is something that can be verified. That is verifiably true what they said. It's just an incredibly misleading generalized number to say, as if it's relevant to the whole nation in current year. You know what I mean? Hello?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Okay.
We muted so we don't talk over you.
No, all I heard was quiet piano, and I'm like, oh shit, did they all drop out?
No, we're here.
I love his comments that go on to Mr. Trump's unfounded and aggravated statements about the latest national polling arrived as each of the top 5 Democratic candidates appeared to be gaining ground against the president. Okay. If you read through it, they're all just, I don't want to read through it either. The polls show that the president is trailing by even wider margins among women. Former Vice President Joe Biden, former President Joe Biden, holding a 30-point lead over Mr. Trump.
I think they're trying to subliminally message something there. President.
Yeah, no,
President.
I'll read the
Vice
sentence,
President.
like, as written. The poll showed the president trailing by even wider margins among women, with former Vice President Joe Biden president holding a 30-point lead over Mr. Trump.
See, they're trying to subliminally make you think president when you hear his name.
Jesus Christ, buddy. Read these things out loud before you hit publish.
Was this written by Joe himself?
Yeah. It also reflected a continue high for Mr. Biden's campaign. A continue high? You mean
I believe he's high.
Yeah, do you mean continuing? It reflected a continue high for Mr. Biden's campaign, which saw its two biggest polling leads against Mr. Trump since it launched in late April. Yeah, I know exactly what you meant by that, you miserable fuck. He's never polled higher than when he launched his campaign. And it was only after the last debate that he managed to get up anywhere above the other candidates again. So it's a more honest way of saying that is Biden has continued to slip and has gone down and down and down again, and has finally reached another peak where his polling numbers went back up. So he's only got two high points that he's been polled at, when he started and this most recent one. But that's not what you read when you read that. He says his continuing high. It's not continuing at all. Which saw the two biggest polling leads against Mr. Trump since it launched. Yeah, this high and the one when it launched.
You know what I find hilarious? They're always making fun of the way Donald Trump talks because, you know, he trips over his words quite a lot. And so he sounds like a drunk rambling. But Biden is not any better. But they just say, oh, it's a gaffe. It's fine. It's fine.
I would argue he's worse because of how much shit he forgets.
Like,
on a regular basis.
He forgot the people who were in the room with him.
He forgot his boss from a few years ago.
Or he made up his own story in his head that he thought really happened. But he wasn't at that place and he didn't talk to that person and nobody knows what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Like, we're just electing, like, they want us to elect an Alzheimer patient instead of the weird, you know, old ass person who's just stumbling over their words. Like, neither of them are really good options in my mind, but
DNC elder abuse.
I don't understand why it's such a horrible thing when Trump does it, but when Biden does something related, like close to it or worse, they're like, oh no, he's still great.
You leave him alone.
There's other candidates. Why are they picking the one that seems like he wouldn't make it the whole 4 years?
Well, I mean, the other options are people like Harris and Sanders, so they don't have a lot of options, and they already basically booted Tulsi.
I love this statement. Here's Beta, you know, and I
oh yeah, dirt eater.
Yeah, I'm really gonna stop with the Beto, like as a spaced out thing, because I think it's hilarious, and Monkey does a great Beto, and Ben Shapiro does a great Beto, and they're funny. But that's his PR people and his campaign people must have really talked to him that everyone's making fun of you as a spaced out stoner surfer guy. And maybe, you know, skateboarding and talking about how you eat dirt aren't the best ways to not make yourself look like an idiot who was born wealthy and then married someone who was fabulously wealthy. You've never worked an honest day in your life. And you look like some guy who's been skating by, and talking about your white privilege isn't enough to escape that. At the minimum, this is my guess, okay? You really have to, at a minimum, stop talking like a stoner surfer. Because wait, everyone's making fun of you, man. So look at the way he talks now. It's forceful and over the top and overcompensating. He's talking fast and loud and Jesus Christ, of course he's a racist. Like, he wants to be known as these things. I'm putting you on notice. Of course we're coming and taking your AR-15s. He didn't say, nah, dude, you don't need that weapon of war, dude.
Isn't he the guy who lost in Texas?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. And you as a Texan, Poppy, will get a kick out of this part, okay? This is a story from, is this Associated Press? No, this is the Huffington Post.
Oh, God,
even better.
Beto O'Rourke. Texans told me they don't need AR-15s. Did they?
Some of them might have, possibly, but I don't think all of Texans told him that.
Beto O'Rourke, who made waves for you idiots at the Huffington Post, he made waves. Everyone else, like, he stayed at the less than 1% polling results he's at. We know you love him, you pathetic media hacks who try and pass yourself off as journalists, but I mean, I'm waiting for a sentence in here like, we were all impressed, like trying to gather you into their thinking, you know? Made waves at the Democratic presidential debate stage when he put gun owners on notice, warning them that he would take their military-style firearms. Said Friday that fellow Texans in the open carry state don't mind turning over their weapons.
Oh, on the discussion of gun laws, he's saying all that. By the way, Dallas County, the one I live in, just loosened all their gun laws.
But no, hold on. Beto just said they don't mind handing over their weapons.
Oh, yeah. That's why our laws are getting looser, not tighter. Okay.
Clearly, that was the dirt talking.
During an MSNBC interview, where I'm sure he was heartily grilled about these things, the former congressman and 2020 hopeful explained that while having, quote, guns to hunt or for self-defense makes a lot of sense to us here in Texas, a weapon of war is out of the question. He goes on to say, and even from those Texans who own AR-15s, they've told me this themselves. I don't need this. I don't need it to hunt. I don't need it to protect myself. It was fun to use. I like taking it out to the range. But if giving this back or cutting it into pieces or selling it to the government helps keep us safer, then by all means, let's do it.
I believe
you,
half
Texans
of that
told.
sentence.
Oh, man.
I believe half of it.
How many did he even talk to?
Chad is gonna break their fucking F buttons down this shit. I mean, come on. No one believes that Texans told you that.
I believe half of it, though, we don't actually need it, because no, you don't need it. But the whole, if us tearing it apart, no, people spent money on that. We don't fuck around with our money. No one's gonna take their gun apart and rip it to pieces just because you said you'll be safer without it. Like,
I don't.
what?
The question is completely like ass backwards anyway. And how long are you going to try this? The response is always the same. Why do you need that? That can be said about any firearm. That's not the question. The question is, why shouldn't I have it? Well, they're used to kill people. So are vehicles. So are knives. What's your point? The question isn't, why shouldn't a psycho murderer have it? The answer to that's obvious. The question is, why shouldn't I have it? What have I ever done?
And by the way, all guns are meant to kill people. Not just the AR-15s.
They're meant to launch a projectile, which can be used to kill people, yeah. Otherwise, cops who have guns are killers with badges, which they're not, so...
Okay, let me put it this way. Around where I grew up, you were taught you don't pull a gun out unless you're willing to kill someone. Like, if you're going to a shooting range or something, sure. If you're going to point a gun at a person, you better be willing to kill them. Because if you just shoot them in the leg and then they have a gun too, you're gonna be dead. So that's just my point of view on it. But like, as I'm saying, I don't think anyone actually told him any of that shit. Maybe one person, and now he's saying Texans because one Texan said it.
Yeah, that's what I said. How many people did he actually talk to that had that same opinion?
One family.
Yeah, one whole family.
That all agree with each other.
Uh-huh.
No, he lost horribly here too. Like, he got his ass stomped on, and now he's like, I'm gonna run for president. Like, bitch, you couldn't even be a governor. You're a mayor.
That is why I'm waiting to see who Beyonce endorses. Every fucking person she gets behind and says, this is going to be the next governor, this is going to be the next president, this is going to be the next congressman, congresswoman, they fail. Beyonce has the kiss of death. Her recommendation is cursed. I can't wait to see who she's going to make fail.
Hopefully maybe she'll figure that out and just be like, I'm not endorsing anyone.
Or she'll endorse the people she doesn't like.
Right. She'll come out, Trump's going to be the next president. She'll come and she'll work.
Suddenly I like Joe Biden. Bernie Sanders isn't that bad either.
Oh my
Yeah, and he called the FBI on a fellow, well, I shouldn't say fellow lawmaker. This guy left. Anyway, my AR is ready for you, Beto O'Rourke. He called the FBI and said that was a death threat.
God damn it.
That's only if you come and try to take it away from him physically.
And it's like, you know what's amazing to me? It's like you have a tyrannical government, and how are you going to resist them? By guaranteeing the right to keep and bear arms. Now you have a guy saying, "You're goddamn right, we're going to come take your AKs and AR-15." His exact words. That's a quote from him, right? Yeah. And we're going to force you to do it through he goes, it's not confiscation, it's a mandatory government buyback. You fucking retard. That is a confiscation.
Yeah, even if they give you money, they're still forcibly taking something from you.
Yeah, because what happens if I say no? Well, we'll take it from you anyway. So it's a confiscation.
Right, you're just being nice and handing me money while you do it.
Frosted Glasses, Beyonce, the co-star of Austin Powers 3, the very same.
It's there's so many places where that would just go horribly wrong, and I'm not saying everyone is, everyone with guns is going to shoot them. No, but there are still those militia people.
Oh yeah,
who own 400 guns and think the government's out to get them anyways.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do when they don't give the guns over?
They're gonna have it all out, or they don't want to admit that part, that there are going to be groups of people who get band together who are like, no, these are our guns, and then there's going to be a lot of shooting, and they don't want to admit that that's going to be the outcome. They're going to be like, no, everyone's just going to hand over their guns. No.
Yeah, and I mean, but Beto said they would. They were willing to. Yeah, right, Beto. Come on. Less than 1% in the polls. This just screams, I am desperate for people to notice me. I am desperate to get back in the running of this thing. So I've got to be the most democratic Democrat ever. So I'm going to talk in the most extreme ways. Not only am I not in favor of building a wall along the southwest border, I'm going to tear down what existing wall there is. Are you fucking serious? It's such an overcompensation. It's like Tiny Dick Beto talking about how big his dick is,
How could you take someone seriously when he's been nicknamed Beat Off an Orc before?
Beto.
Isn't Beto not even his name?
No,
it's not.
Why
are you running under not your name? That seems suspicious.
It seems suspicious.
Robert was too boring.
Yeah, he wanted Beto because of the same reason he would talk in Espanol during certain parts of the debate, right?
Him and half the panel.
Oh god, that was so annoying. And I don't know his name, and I feel bad for describing him this way. I apologize, but the black dude,
Cory Booker.
The face he was making the whole time he was speaking Spanish, it looked like it was hurting him, like he got constipated just doing Spanish. I don't know what was going on with his face the whole time he was trying to speak Spanish, but he seriously looked like he was having a brain aneurysm.
Well, what's funny, the first time, I think it was Beto who was speaking Spanish in the first debate, Booker was looking over at him, and at first I thought he was looking at him like, dude, what the fuck are you doing?
Right.
No, he's like, fuck, you got there first.
Yeah, 10 minutes later, he goes and does it too.
He's like, I was already planning that, motherfucker, you stole that idea. I told you about that backstage, you just fucked me.
How am I gonna win?
I know that look. It's that look. I used to. I was in choir. We ran the talent show, so we were the ones running it, and the spotlights and all that crap. It's the same look those girls get when the other preppy bitch steals her song and goes on first. That's the same face. I saw that face and I was like, oh, he was planning on speaking Spanish. And someone next to me is like, no. And then the next thing we know, he actually starts speaking Spanish. And I was like, I told you.
And Pat's in chatty. What's up, Pat? He says he's just trying to pander to Hispanics and Latinos. Yeah,
they all are.
The surprise, maybe it won't happen again. Who knows? But remember, 34% of Latinos voted for Donald Trump. And he's polling pretty good with them right now. And notice that they're not talking about that in the UK Independent. He's talking about how well the women are doing and all the candidates, and they can all beat this guy, and et cetera, et cetera. And it's I don't know, man. I think you guys might be setting yourself up for something. like a disappointment again. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe it's going to come around and people are like, okay, Trump didn't drain the swamp and he didn't build the wall, and so the enthusiasm is gone, so it goes somewhere else. See, that's called a realistic appraisal of the world, as opposed to I'm telling you what's going to happen because that's what I want to happen.
You know, I think the reason Trump backed off on the vaping so much is because so many people got pissed when he said, I'm going to ban all the flavors. Because honestly, that's going to lose him a lot more votes than the wall thing, I think, because the wall could still be built. You know, if you're like, no, I'm going to take all your vape juice away, trust me, a lot of his constituents are going to be like, fuck you.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I haven't heard more, you know, I'm not going to say conservatives, but people who aren't, you know, diehard liberals. I haven't heard that those types of people give Trump any more shit than recently, because he also briefly jumped on the whole gun violence and video games are bad bullshit.
Yeah.
And then, you know, throwing in the vaping thing, it just didn't make it any better.
Yeah, it's hurting the people who really don't have anything against him. And my kids' family, not mine, their dad's side, that there's vapors on that side. They're all for him. And when he said that, they're like, oh, fuck this bitch. You know? So, they loved him the week before. And then he said that. They're like, I'll kill him. So, you know, like, I think that's why the second time he talked about it, he realized, like, somebody whispered in his ear, yo, that did not go well.
Yeah, you just pissed off all the wrong people. Yeah.
Yeah, back it up a little, back it up. So, and the video game comment, like, you don't hear him really say anything about that again. I think it was, once again, somebody else was like, eh.
He dropped that the moment he brought it up, too.
Yeah, because somebody's in the backstage going, "Oh fuck, Twitter just blew up."
Dude,
It's not the people we're used to. Don't say that.
Okay, well, Evolved Potato says, is that of all the Latinos in the U.S.? That number is of Latinos who voted, period. Like, of the ones who casted votes. Because you don't even want to start talking about the statistics of how many of them are in the country legally, because it's impossible. You always hear that number of 11 million. Part of your ass are you pulling that fucking figure out of? Even the people that I know that are just shy of being progressive liberals, and I'm making a claim that number's a lot larger, and it's in their interests. It's in the interest of their argument to make the argument larger, because it's like, we're not talking about just 11 million that are in the country legally. We're talking about like more like 30 and 35 million people that are in the country illegally. That's why we need to handle this and give them all citizenship. That's part of their argument. It's like, okay, but we're all kind of in agreement that this 11 million figure is complete bullshit, right? The problem's a hell of a lot larger than the news entertainers are pretending.
That's one thing I've always been confused on. It's not just with the illegal, you get it on a lot of things, like men who are suicidal. They're like, there's unreported, depression problem. I'm like, well, how do you know how many? How can you give me a number if it's unreported? With the immigrants, it's the same thing. If they're here illegally and they're not reporting that they're here illegally, how do you know how many there are? If they're, people are struggling with depression, but they don't report it or go see therapists, how do you know how many there are? I'm very confused when people just throw in these numbers for unreported things.
I hear you. Like, it's because they have to be by definition estimates, because where else are you getting them from? They're extrapolations upon, well, we know if this many things happen and this many things happen, we can do this, and therefore it's scientifically derived. And it's like, no, your guesswork just has more moving parts in it. It's still guesswork.
Yeah, it's still an estimation, which I'm not gonna, that's not downing it, but say you're estimating this many. Don't just put out this number like, this is how many people there are that do this. Well, how do you know that?
Pat brought up something that I hadn't really thought of before. He goes, what's really going to kill their chances is the actual voting. Remember how many white Trump supporters were being physically attacked while they were voting? I think the same thing's going to happen again. Okay, that brings a thought to mind. You have, like, idiots like Deborah Messing there, one half of a gay relationship that shouldn't be. What's the name of that show? She's from some stupid sitcom that they revived. I can't remember. And there's some rally event going on. And she tweets out, "Can you please send us the name of all of the attendees so we know who we no longer want to work with?" In Hollywood, meaning. Like, we want to know who all the Trump supporters are. And you have Castro sending out the names of a whole bunch of donors, including the idiot people who had donated to him. He's just like, I just want to call out all of the donors. It's at that pitch, right? That level. If you don't accept that Trump is a racist at this point, you're part of the problem. I've seen that in newspaper op-ed places, or newspaper op-ed columns. I've heard that said on corporate cable news again and again. Yeah, if you go to a polling station and you vote for Trump, you just publicly declared yourself to be a Nazi in a lot of people's eyes.
Yeah. And see, I retweeted something. Whoopi good. I don't watch The View, but it was on a tweet, and I actually agreed with her, which is weird lately. But when someone brought that up and said, no, I want that list too, she actually went off on them, because she said back in the day, there was a huge problem with this in Hollywood. You know, people were making lists of people, and a lot of people ended up committing suicide. There was violence. You know, this was crazy. We do not make lists. Do not make lists. She's like, she actually got really upset by the fact that they were wanting to make lists of people who support Donald Trump and like not hire them, not have anything to do with them, because, you know, that has happened in the past several times for different reasons. And yeah, she's right. It always ends really badly when you do that shit.
You're essentially just making a hit list at that point.
Yeah, because I mean, even through the communist scares back in like the, you know, 50s, 60s, 40s, like the past in general, you know, there was lists and people would come to your house and investigate you. And,
sure.
You know.
Well, I mean, you'd think but that's the point. Like, it's not really based on a principle. You shouldn't be making lists. It's like, no, you shouldn't be making lists that me and my friends are on, is what they're thinking. Because it's like, well, I want to make lists of these people. Wait a minute, I thought you were against making lists. No, that's different. They're evil. We're good. That's why we shouldn't be on lists.
Well,
so they're not against lists. They're against lists that they and their friends are on.
Would be good, but I really doubt she supports Trump in any way. She's just saying don't make lists, period, because nothing good comes out of it. And it's true. Like, you know, if you start outcasting people because they went to this fundraiser, you know, you don't know how that's going to end up. You could end up with people being murdered or people committing suicide, or, you know, it's just...
Yeah.
That's shady.
It's shady. Will and Grace is the name of the show. Thank you, Eva One and Pat. Yeah. Will and Grace.
I love Frosted Glass in chat. Don't make lists. Schindler sheds a tear.
Oh, Lord. Well, I mean, that's part of the point of the way we vote. Like, you know, you're anonymous. If you want, like, you don't have to tell anyone who you voted for at all. And it's so that you don't have those problems of people judging you or coming after you because who you vote for. Now, today, a lot of people like to wear it like a badge of honor. Like, I voted for this person. I'm voting for this person. But really, we were never supposed to, you know, announce to everyone who we're voting for. You know, I don't know. Well, it's just weird.
And Pat's like, well, you know, who cares? It's not like the guy's going to be there for life. I hear you, but that it doesn't stop people's thinking, you know, this is the first move towards tyranny that died. Donald Trump Jr., I believe it was Trump Jr., tweeted that in reference to the Trump family, something of a dynasty. It's like, see, they are becoming. Sorry, what's that, Jacob?
I was saying, I think it was Trump Jr.
Yeah. And it's like, well, they really believe they're an oligarchy, that they're gonna. This is an act of tyranny. This is like, oh, you fucking.
Yeah, that's stupid, because taking out the president part, they're still like billionaires, right?
They are.
That they can consider that a dynasty, like all their, you know, companies and stuff.
The closest thing America's ever had to a fucking dynasty was the Kennedy, and none of you cocksuckers had a fucking problem with it. So shut the fuck up. I hate dynasties as much as the next person. I said repeatedly in 2016, the best thing to come out of that election overall, in my opinion, was no more Clintons, no more Bushes. Because since fucking Ronald Reagan's first term, there had been a Clinton or a Bush somewhere near the very tippy top of the power structure of the United States. No more Clintons, no more Bushes. Think about it. It was George H.W. Bush as vice president, and you can run it all the way through right up until 2016. And it's like, well, what about Barack Obama? Yeah, Hillary Clinton.
He had Hillary
was his Secretary of State. That's a massively powerful position. I mean, right after the Senate pro temp, that's the next person in terms of line of succession. Hugely powerful position. One of the top 5 in government. It's like I said, Clinton and Bush, Clinton and Bush. No more. Enough. Fuck you, Jeb. Go away. Anyway, let's see what's going on over at hashtag more. See how people have been defacing that hashtag.
All right, I'm gonna need to head out, guys.
Yeah.
Okay. Good night.
Okay.
Good night.
Good night.
Oh, good night, man. Thanks for coming.
And
Thanks
just
for
a
having me.
What's that? Pop-Tart?
Oh, I was just saying, I am having a hard time talking today. Just so everyone knows, I know I keep saying I can't say that word. I apologize.
It's all right. I think we'll get over it. I myself am starting to feel the drain. I'm only 3 shots in and 2 beers, but that's enough on a hangover. So, feel the tired, so I'm starting to wind down myself. And it's all that slow jazz, man. It's like I don't have like a peppy drunk. I'm just kind of like...
Yeah. We can't hear that. No, mine isn't that I'm tired. I'm wide awake. I just, my brain's broken. It's just...
It's just one of those nights. Fair enough.
It's just one of those nights where the words are like not... I sound like I'm slurring already, and I probably am, but it's not because of drinking or anything. My brain and my mouth aren't getting along.
Yeah, and I had I got the yawn started where I can't stop, so yeah, it's one of those.
Oh.
So, unless anybody has any final points, Pat's like, I'm just getting started. Yeah, that's some early rising, late night kind of shit. Yeah.
Well, it is 5 a.m. A lot of people get up around this time.
Well, no, fair enough, but I only got, just shy of 5 hours sleep, and it wasn't even really good sleep last night. So I woke up and I still had, that's when the hangover started, and tooled around for a bit, and then went out for dinner with a lady friend, and then drank there, then came home and stopped drinking, and then started drinking. Yeah, so anyway, that's why I'm tired.
You don't need a defense for being sleepy, Molly.
I'm just saying. All right, so yeah, I think we're going to wind it down. I should have just waited. Jacob could have just waited around. You didn't have to run off like that, God damn it.
Well, he didn't know you were about to close. He didn't say anything.
No, fair enough. I'm just busting his balls anyway. All right, chat. Thanks for coming for the Hangover Hangout at Noir Bar. It was a good time. And Jacob, thanks for being here. Pop-Tart, thanks for coming in. And Far, thanks for starting the night with me. You lasted the whole time. Yay!
Yay!
All right.
All right, so everybody have a good night. And we will be open again for floating the liquor laws again soon, I'm sure. Have a good day, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.